Hey everyone, so today I'm going to do an eyebrow tutorial, updated one. So the first thing that I like to start out with is, of course, shape brows, and I just kind of slightly clean them up. As you can tell, my brows are slightly sparse, but what I do for those is I just take a spoolie, and the brush that I'm using is from Crown, and it has an angled, brush on the end and a spoolie on the other end. So I just take the spoolie and kind of brush them up and just make sure that they're kind of shaped nicely according to my liking. And that's about it for as far as the shaping. Like I said, just make sure that they're nicely cleaned up the way that you prefer to have them. Mine are thin, so I try to just take off the bottom. I necessarily don't take anything off the top. The products that we'll be using today is our spoolie brush that I just mentioned. I'll be using Deep Dark Brunette Fluid Line by MAC. It looks like this. I'll be using a couple of concealers. It's just depending because my skin is changing according to the weather, the sun. So I have my Pro Conceal LA Girl concealers here. I have one, and this one is in Cool Tan. This is Cool Tan, the top one. The next one is in Warm Honey. That's this one. And I also have my MAC NC35. No, excuse me, NC42 concealer. And it looks like that. And that's like 2 shades lighter than my complexion. I'll also be using my tinted brows. I haven't decided. The first one is by NYX and the other one's by Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is my favorite one, and this one, the Wet n Wild one is in Got Auburned. The NYX one is in Chocolate. And I have 2 brushes here that I like to use. This one here is a flat headed brush that is from Sally's, and then this one here is just a soft rounded brush, kind of flat brush, and this one has no name on it, so more than likely I got this one from Crown. So let's get started. We've already brushed the brows up, and I'm gonna try to zoom in. So the first thing I do is go in with the Deep Dark Brunette. They're going to appear to be a little darker, but we're going to clean all that up and make it fine. So I'm just going to dip my brush right in to the product. And what I like to do is just kind of wipe it off on the edge here, to get a good sharp angle and not have so much product, and then it leaves the brush just very pointy. So I'm going to start at the tip, and I bring mine out just a little bit further, and I'm doing small strokes because this product, for one, is a little dark, and I create my bottom line. Then I start here towards the middle, and I just make a line going down, but small strokes. And then I work my way to the front of the brow. Now, I don't care to have thick brows. Sometimes I get a little carried away with them, and I don't like thin. So like I said, I just start here until that line is kind of defined, and then I just make little small strokes. And then I stop about right before I get to the front, and then I work my way to the back and just flick. And then flick up into my natural brow. And then when I get to the front, I just flick. I keep it on an angle and just flick. And then I'll take the brush and put a little more pressure to it, and then finish it off that way. Now, I will go back in with the brush here, the spoolie, and just rake all of that together, clean it up. And I like them to look like my brows, but I don't want it to look like they've been drawn on, so I may do a little more brushing and then go back and just keep alternating. It's almost as if you're blending for your shadow. So then I go back if I need a little bit more product, and I just use little small strokes, not adding any product. So through the viewfinder, this little spot here is a little gappy, so I'm going to add a little more product, just a little bit. And I just take the tip of my brush, wipe it off, and then just add a little bit more product there. I think I have a bump there, so it's making it appear to be a little gappy. And I'm just taking small feathery strokes, so it should look like that. Now every now and then I get a little DC, a little DMV, and I will bring this out like that. I'll make just a small little extra line and then go back in and just lightly blend it. So your brow at this point should look something like this. Now here, because my brow was a little sparse up under, I brought it down just a little too low, but I'll clean that up with the concealer. So let's go into this one. Same thing. I've dipped my brush into my product, and I'm just basically wiping it off. Starting from the base, I'm going to bring it out just a little bit further, because when you bring your brow out just a little bit, if you have a lot of space here, by bringing your brow out, it kind of contours your nose. So I didn't mean to bring it out this far, Lord have mercy. So wipe that off. Down just a little further than the other, so I usually kind of clean that up in the concealer process. And as I said before, if you felt like as though you've used too much product, just please go in and brush it away with your spoolie. That's what I like about this brush. I don't have to go in with the spoolie and with the brush. I can just go in with the same brush. And just flick up. When you have sparse brows. Okay, so we're pretty much done with that. And excuse me, it just depends on the eye look that I'm going to do. Normally during the day, I will go in with my Pro Conceal by LA Girl, but today I'm going to just get me a nice under eye highlight, so I'm going to use my MAC NC45, and I prefer to use this brush. So I'm just putting product on both sides of the brush. And the reason I put product on the both sides of the brush is because if I don't have enough and I run out, I can flip my brush over and then continue on. So I like to start at the height of my brow. To me, that's where the most product needs to be. I really don't want to highlight here, but I want to kind of clean it up. So I put the most product. Wherever you start is where the most product is going to be. And I'm holding my brush kind of midway towards the end, so I'm not applying a lot of pressure. And I'm just going to sculpt it out. And then what I do is just drag. And then here I take the rest very lightly and hit the front of my brow. And see, I've run out of product, so I've switched, flip my brush over. And then take that extra and put it down here. Take my finger. And I like to press because it warms, your finger warms the product up. So that it kind of melts into the skin, and then it looks more, not necessarily natural, but blended. And then whatever's left, I just kind of drag it to the center. I mean the part right here, my eye. Now I'm just going to do the same thing since I still got a little product. Go back in and with leftover product just kind of reshape it. Now, same brush, the flat brush. I believe that the warm honey is closer to my skin complexion. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit on the back of my hand. So this is about as close to my skin complexion. And sometimes if it's too light up under, I'll just take a little bit of this and tap it in. So I'm going to use this for the top of the brow. And I just did one side because I don't want a whole lot. So I'll start it like right here at the front. So in that way, in case it's too light, it could be a part of my highlight. And this way too, I can chunk off some of that extra brow that I probably created. And then warm it up. Now I do is just take this and just kind of flick through it, just to give it the airbrushed effect and more of a natural look. And that's it. Now, while I'm on this brow, I'll just go ahead and set it. I set it with my Wet n Wild Got Auburned. Wet some of this product off because it's just like too much. Too much. And it's just to brush it up and down, up and down. And there you have it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. Pick up a little product. But I'm going to try my best to get them matched. And that completes it. Every now and then I'll throw a little bit of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear brow gel over top of my what I've already created, but I kind of let this dry sometimes before I do that, and it depends on the weather and if I really need them to have that extra set. But I think I said in one of my videos that I felt as though I love the Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I felt like it made them a little crispy and not natural looking sometimes. So for now, this is my basically updated eyebrow tutorial. I think I have another one when I go into probably a little more detail as far as the angle and where your arch should be. And if you don't know, the arch should be here. So I'll just run over that for those who've never done eyebrows before, who've never seen an eyebrow tutorial. You always want to take your brush and your end of your brow should end right here at the outside of your eye. Your arch should be right near your pupil. And the front of the brow should be right here at the front of your eye. That's why I took a lot of it away. So let me explain that. And the same here. So that's how you can do a check. And see, this one is just a slightly bit too much. Okay. And then the angle here, the end of the pupil, or when you look straight ahead, it should be there. And then here. Your brow should end on an angle there. So that completes my eyebrow tutorial. I'll thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this eyebrow tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below, and I will see you in my next video.